Heavy spoilers for ReZero Arc 9. Watch with caution. Aldebaran's betrayal is a crazy master plan that is currently being unraveled. So let's cover every single thing this guy already achieved and successfully manipulated for his revenge against Subaru. Priscilla's death in the rising of the sun and the acknowledgement that Subaru was incapable of reverting things marked the rebirth of Aldebaran, the following star which would put an end to Subaru and quote-unquote return to his purpose. It's also revealed that his teacher is none other than the Witch of Greed, Echidna herself, and he had some connection with her in the past, although not much was elaborated on that. Aldebaran asked Subaru to go to the Pleiades watchtower in order to read Priscilla's Book of the Dead. However, we know this was not the case, because that place would be the perfect spot for his master plan. He started by convincing Enkel to join forces with him in order to have a trump card against Reinhardt. Aldebaran probably found out about his wife's state during his time on Priscilla's camp, and promised him with the dragon blood, which is said to cure any disease, even managing to wake up his wife, although we don't know what made Enkel believe him other than pure manipulation with loops. The same applied to everyone in Emilia's camp, in order to prevent most of them to follow him and Subaru to the Pleiades watchtower. He left Enkel with Ye Tenzin, former mate of Priscilla's camp and also an assassin, which he somehow convinced to join his side, and to this date it's still unknown how and when. Using his authority, after 4,061 attempts, he convinced Roswell. After 972 attempts, he convinced the Oni sisters Ram and Brown. It took 633 attempts to convince Otto, and 94 attempts to convince Frederica, while Emilia took only 5 times, with the mention that these 5 attempts were a matter of twisting her thoughts to suit his preferences. Finally, it took 0 attempts to convince Subaru. All captured both him and Beatrice using Ol Shamak, putting them into a small black orb. He also predicted that Subaru would seek for his own Book of Death, and made sure to leave it in a proper place for someone to potentially read it. And that's probably why he let the youngest and most attached people to Subaru like Garfield and Petra to go with them. Beforehand, Aldebaran had found his own Book of Death, and used it to make the divine dragon Volcanica to his body, as the dragon was kinda out of his mind and basically overlapped his memories with the ones on the book, becoming a second Aldebaran but in the form of a dragon. He was able to defeat Garfield and Ezo and flee from the tower. However, he was soon stopped by Reinhard von Astria,